David Bruce here with 3 for All. This is 3 Nuno Bettencourt licks from 1987, and I have featured Nuno in a Breaking Chords episode, a 3 for All lesson, and also the Chords of Extreme, a chord play lesson. So we've looked at Nuno before, but truth be told, I recently picked up a copy of Extreme's Porno Graffiti on vinyl, and that kind of like reignited, the bonfire of Nuno's music and the music of Extreme, and I've definitely been binging, a lot of Extreme's music. And Extreme's a great band. Definitely, they formed in Boston, Massachusetts in 1985, eventually released their self-titled debut in the late 80s, and went on to become one of the most popular, hard rock bands in the late 80s and early 90s. And even though they're known for ballads like More Than Words or Wholehearted and some of those songs, Nuno rocks. Extreme definitely rocks. Check out Smoke Signals or Cupid's Dead or, any of those songs. Little Jack Horny or When I'm President or any of those songs. And Extreme will definitely just rock your face off, and Nuno can shred your face off. Great player. Now, most people know Nuno from playing with Extreme, but Nuno's actually worked with a lot of people and collaborated, with some different projects, solo albums, and these kind of one-off projects. Also, famously recorded, with Janet Jackson. There's a whole bunch of people. So here's an image with some of the people that Nuno's worked with in his career, and you might be surprised by some of the names here, but definitely, a world-class, musician. The licks in this lesson actually come from a live bootleg from Portugal in 1987, so this is very early in Extreme's career. And Nuno looks noticeably different. His hair is different. He's playing a single humbucker, Jackson guitar, so he's not even using the Washburn yet. So this is very early. And they're playing songs, from the first album. And then Nuno does this wicked, solo near the end. So definitely check it out. I found it on YouTube. But there's a whole, early Extreme concert from 1987 from Extreme in Portugal. But it really was eye-opening where I thought, man, I've never seen this footage ever. And it blew me away. I thought, wow, that's early Extreme. And they were just rocking out. Really cool. All right, the first lick is this emotive melodic phrase. And while Nuno's known for shredding and string skipping and all this craziness, he has, definitely documented and recorded a lot of these, expressive melodic phrases in his music. Something like this. One more time. So we're in A minor pentatonic, and we're way up there, in the box. And we're basically grabbing this C note. You're going to grab A first, and then quickly grab that C and bend it to D, a whole step, like this. Then he grabs the bar and starts doing vibrato, on that released bend on that C note, like this. And then after you've kind of sustained that note with vibrato, you're going to very quickly race up the top 2 strings of A minor pentatonic right there. And you're going to go back to that C note and bend, like this. But you want to do it really fast. And then when you release that bend, when you release that C again, you're going to grab the A and then come down and grab this G, E, G, and then bend that up a whole step, that G note to A, like this. But you want to do it fast, like that. And it's a tricky lick because you're definitely grabbing notes with a lot of authority and conviction. And you're picking hard, you're bending hard, and it has this soaring, melodic kind of sound. Really cool phrase. And I like those kind of phrases. It reminds me of Neil Schon from Journey a little bit, where he would grab, maybe like a quick, flurry of notes going into a bend, and it kind of reminds me of that. One more time here. Okay, up next is another melodic phrase, and we're actually targeting the C major 7 arpeggio during this lick. Really cool. Something like this. One more time. slides into the C note out of, nowhere. He's just sliding from wherever you want to start into that C. Sustain it for a minute, and then you want to basically hop over and grab this B to C to B slide with your index. And there's that C major 7 arpeggio I was talking about. Because there you did the B, C, B slide, grab that D note, come down on the A string, grab that E, and then end on C right there, the first note you started with. And then right there, kind of slide into this G again. Grab A, and then you want to shift slide into E right there on the A string. And then you want to come down this D, C, B, and then C, D, A, into the open A string. Like and so it's an easy, kind of slow, melodic phrase, but I love the way it's put together. It has this real dreamy, atmospheric kind of sound. I love stuff like that. Up next to the stretchy unison-based idea, and we just looked at some stretchy unison-based ideas in the Reach For It lesson, which was the lesson right before this one. And Nuno actually did a variation of this lick in the solo from He-Man Woman Hater, which is from Porno Graffiti, but on this live footage solo, it's something like this. Something like that, and it's really hard to make it clean because slowly you can actually see and hear what he's doing. And he's literally just kind of dancing between these unisons, this E and E on the A string and the low E string there, the 7th fret on the A, 12th fret on the low E, and then you're kind of mirroring that all the way across like this. And then footage, he does it 3 times in a row. And it's, like I said, really hard to keep it clean and try to have each individual string, kind of sound separately. Big secret right there is the muting technique, and you can see his hand is way back by the bridge, and he's dampening the strings to where it still has a little bit of a ring to it, but it's also dampened or muted a little bit too. It's just this big, obnoxious, strange lick, but it sounds cool. And check out the He-Man Woman Hater solo too to see another version of that kind of idea. It's really cool. Here's a bonus lick from this live footage, and it's this wicked double tapped idea that takes place entirely on the high E string, and it's something like this. One more time. So right here we're starting and tapping 19 and grabbing this. So there's where your double tap's coming in, and you're basically double tapping that 19 and releasing to that 17 the first time. And then you're going to basically move this A back to G and do the same thing like this. Just make sure you start there on that G note. I think I kind of messed that up. So that first little phrase is basically extended all the way down the string. So you're doing this. continue tapping that 19, and you're going to revert back to the C sharp, D, and E, you know, with your fret hand, and then do the same thing. And then move that C sharp down to C and do it again. And then you're going to move back to this B, C, and D. And then move back to this A, B, and C sharp. And then right there I basically just tapped that A and ended it, because Nuno kept going. But it's something like this. You know, wicked little lick. That's going to wrap this look at 3 Nuno Bettencourt licks from 1987, and I'm definitely a huge Nuno Bettencourt fan. I've always liked Extreme. I've been a Nuno fan since I was in high school, so I remember, you know, watching the videos on MTV, you know, grabbing my guitar, trying to learn how to play Mother Don't Want to Go to School Today and Kid Ego and some of these songs, Porn Graffiti, you know, all these great songs from the band. And definitely those first 3 albums were just on fire. You know, 3 Sides to Every Story is great. And I'm a big fan of Porn Graffiti, and that first Extreme album, it has this like raw Van Halen kind of energy to it. I'm definitely, you know, I'm a huge fan of that album as well. But most people, it seems like they overlook that first Extreme album. It's like, no, that's the one. You know, Mother Don't Want to Go to School Today, Play With Me. I mean, there's a whole bunch of great songs on there. So anyway, leave some feedback and comments. Please subscribe to Net Lessons, and I'll be back before you know it with more content material. Thank you.